guys, welcome back to the BMG Loft today. And today we're going to talk about the Sadowsky Blue Label stainless steel strings. Sadowsky sent me a set to review, and they gave me an option of any of them, and I went with the stainless because stainless are a very hard string to get right, in my opinion, because typically they'll sound either way too bright or they feel just so harsh. They're horrible on your fingers. So I've always been a nickel man. I love the warmth of them, but for slap, I've always loved stainless strings, and I've used a fairly large name brand for a long time, and I still never really was quite happy with them. So I decided to give these a test run and see how they are. And so far, I'm really liking them. They don't feel or sound like traditional stainless steel bass strings, and I really like that. They almost feel a lot closer to nickel. They still have a little bit of that grab that stainless has. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. So there's no way to completely eliminate that issue. But they have certainly alleviated it because it's a lot easier for me to get slides in, even going from way down, going all the way up. It's almost like I'm sliding on nickel, which is just that. Typically, if I go from here to there, I've ripped off an old callus with most stainless steel strings, and so that's a huge thing for me. The next thing is I don't like it to be overly bright because I feel like I can EQ in the brightness if I need it, but you can't. I hate having to take it out of the string. I'd prefer to just have it right at the source if I can, and then if I need to add a little brightness, I would rather have that option. And in most stainless, the top end's just too harsh for me. But they've tamed it. It's still got that bite and snap of stainless, but it's in a much more controlled way that I can just kind of finesse it with my onboard stuff or outboard, either way. But for slap, these are really good. So you still get that zing, that pop, but it's not just absolutely ripping your head off, which is huge for me. And like being able to slide on that with stainless for me is usually hard because my fingers just get stuck on them from. And these really sound good for fingerstyle playing too. I'm really liking it for that because typically for me, the reason I like nickel string, well, nickel plated steel usually, is you just get that warmth that you're looking for, especially in the fingers. And sometimes with stainless, they have a punchy low end, but they just don't have quite the fullness I'm looking for. But you can use this in fingerstyle lines, and again, it's not atypical stainless steel sound to me. So you can hear a fullness that sticks throughout the entire range, and it just sounds good. They feel good. The tensions, a good for me. Tension's going to be a preference thing, and that's just something that you got to discover on your own if you like it or you don't. But for me, they're not too tight because especially when you're doing down up stuff on slap and pop and really quick stuff. I like having a little springiness to it because if it's too tight, it can make it more difficult for the phrasing. And yeah, so these strings are really good. Like even if I'm doing like it's still easy for me to slide. I mean, I can't get over the fact that I can actually move around these quite easily without my fingers getting just stuck and caught and sounds bad, and you get hung between frets and you sound horrible, but it's very comfortable right there. So so far these are great. I can't say anything on how long they last yet because I just had them on for a week or so. So I can't comment on that, but so far they sound very good and holding in there. Intonation's been great on them. The tuning stability has been very good. I let it stretch overnight, and ever since it's held pretty good. It really hasn't changed environments much, but again, and sometimes I just depends on the brand. I've had them stretch for what feels like weeks, and I've had other brands that have great tuning stability. So far, the tuning stability has been very good with these. Again, I love the feel of them. This is right up my alley for when I need it because I don't really use stainless other than for slap stuff. And this has a nice warmth to it, a smooth top end that still allows for that bite, to really cut through. And if you need to add some top end, I mean, if I can sizzle this thing out, and you can hear it really doesn't cut your head off even with that. Even if you're just doing like just the Music Man style stuff. So I'm really liking these a lot, and that's another thing that these have. For me, I can always tell a good string if the harmonics can really ring through, and there's just lots of richness to complexities to the harmonics, and these have a really nice harmonic content. So you can just hear a lot of nice complex tones in there. So I'm loving these strings. These are definitely, as of now, going to be my slap string of choice. So I highly recommend if you haven't tried a set, check them out. Go to the website. You can buy them on there. I think there's a few dealers that carry them too. But hopefully you guys gained something from this. If you liked it, please like, share, and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. And until next time, guys, keep it grooving.